This is Empower Her, a community-based organization in Kanyameda, Kisumu. We have young mothers who are with us here today at our project. One of the projects we try to do is make sure that the ladies are self-sufficient. We believe in farming, so here we have all kinds of vegetables and fruits. We have tomatoes, spinach, we have collard greens, we have maize growing. As you can see, the farm is very healthy. As young mothers, they need to be able to provide for their children, as well as all the other basic needs. But one way to do that is to generate money from the sale of farming, and as well as growing all of this for subsistence. It's important that our mothers learn that the way to go these days is organic, and you can make small money. You harvest your own mangoes, you harvest your own greens and vegetables. We have tomatoes. You can cook, enjoy a meal at home without having to spend money, as long as we have projects like this going on. In the future, we hope to expand to more bigger projects, larger projects, like maybe a bigger poultry farm or goat farming or other related scale, so that these women grow up to be independent. Aside from the young mothers, we have school-going girls. These are from the age of 9 to 15, 16 years old. Some of them are very poor. They don't have what it takes to achieve the most basic education, primary level. And so at Empower Her, we take them under our wing, and through skills training like this, we manage to achieve what we do. In future projects, we hope to be able to make sure that these girls as well can grow up knowing that skills like farming does not take much. As long as you have a piece of land and water and seeds, you're good to go. Through these, you can buy your own sanitary pads, you can be able to buy your own books, pens, school uniforms, name it. So at the end of the day, this is what we want to show Kenya. We want to make sure that a girl grows up knowing that they are able and they can be self-sufficient, and they can be able to provide for their own families without having to feel like they're a failure or this is the end of the road after becoming a mother. There's so much hope, there's so much positivity, there's so much goals that we hope to achieve at Empower Her. It just takes a little portion of land, and you can mix your crops. You can do yams together, collard greens go together with maize, bananas, there's green peppers, all kinds of things. We have ginger, we have onion, we have tomatoes, like I said earlier, we have cabbage, we have cowpeas, we have managu, if you know what that is. We have sunflower. Eventually we'll be able to see a bit of our chicken project as well. But in the short time that we've been at Empower Her, we've managed to achieve this. It's not really huge portions of land, but what comes out of here is enough to feed a lot of homes, because most people in this village cannot afford to go fish, meat, or chicken shopping. So you raise your own greens and you feed your family. So at Empower Her, it's all about projects and self-sufficiency, everything that comes with that. Here we have cowpeas. We are already forming seeds. Soon they'll be able to be harvested. You harvest the leaves, and when they have the seeds, you can replant and have your own bigger vegetable garden from this small portion. Right next to it is something in Kenya that's locally called Miranda. In Luo, it's a pork. You mix that with the cowpeas, you have a very healthy green vegetable. Right next to it on the other side is collard green. Some people might call it kale or sukuma wiki. All of these grow next to each other very perfectly. Next to that is tomatoes. a little patch of tomatoes right next to a banana tree, uh, growing very happily together next to each other. Because right here is not too sunny, chances are it's going to do really well. We have young cabbage plants coming up. This might take only a few, less than a few months to come to maturity, and you have more than 10 heads of cabbage. If you do that well, if you have 20 more, you can supply the local market here, just from these little gardens. Right next to the Miranda and collard greens is spinach, and so all of that grow well together. There's onions, there's red onions right next to them. That is good as well. Thank you for watching. More projects coming up soon. At Empower Her, we also believe in organic. Everything that we need to learn today is go the organic way. By organic, I mean homegrown, no chemicals, no modification. So we have tomatoes right next to them. These tiny seedlings of green pepper. Those will take a few weeks to become bigger trees. And then right next to that we have cassava. Cassava plants growing next to sweet potato mounds, right next to each other. All these plants that have tubes or tubers sort of do well next to each other, so we thought, why not? And the tomatoes are not far from that as well. Like I said, the trick is to have water. As long as you have water and you have good soil, you put a bit of manure, these projects become very viable. More tomatoes coming up ahead, and right next to them is a bed of yellow or golden onions. They should be maturing in a few months, but together they do very well. If a lot of people who've done farming know that certain plants don't do well next to each other, but the way they've been intermixed here, it's all stuff that support each other when it comes to pests and insects. Yeah, so we teach all the ladies all these simple things. In the end, it makes a difference. If you have your own tomatoes, you harvest your tomatoes, you have your cassava, you have your green pepper, the bell peppers. You make a meal, and so you eat. So at the end of the day, it's all about the life skills. All about the life skills, all about providing for your family. And when you become a teenage mother, it means your resources are very limited. But because you can put food on the table, it goes a long way. And that's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize. It takes just a little portion of land to be able to provide for that family that you are not ready for. So yes, at Empower Her, we make it all possible. Where we are today is Kanyameda, and right here is where we have our organic farm. Right here is where we have our chicken coop that you'll be seeing in a bit. And right next to tomatoes is a few collard greens as well. Those as well do well together, mixed together. And then right next to them is beetroot. Those of you who know beetroot, this is how the beetroot plant looks like. So at the end of the day, I believe this type of soil is good for everything because everything seems to be thriving nicely. Beetroot plant is right here. Right next to that is a bush of pumpkin plant. That's a huge pumpkin plant. It's starting to bear pumpkins real soon. So right next to that is cucumbers. The cucumbers are climbing on a trellis. They do better while hanging. That's how a cucumber plant looks like. We have, they just harvested that already. It's already producing lots of cucumbers. They're very big and very healthy. At the end of the day, there's a young one coming up here to mature real soon. It takes only a few days for a cucumber there to grow big. So at the end, you have to keep on checking them, and you don't let them stay too long on the tree because they become too hard. They don't taste very well after that. We have spring onions, some people call them leeks, right there next to the cucumber bush. And then we have watermelon. Watermelon, we have all kinds of varieties. There's the oval, long variety, and then there's the round variety as well. So at the end of the day, all these grow well together. So these girls and young mothers know that you do not need a huge tract of land to be able to cultivate anything you want to eat. From these fruits and everything, it's just a small portion of land. And yes, there we have it all. Trying to make it A lot of people don't know that you can grow garlic, your own garlic. These are garlic plants. So you just take like one bulb of garlic, and then you stick it in the dirt. It shoots and becomes the garlic plant that you're seeing now in the containers. That doesn't even need like a large area. And right next to that is where the chickens are. We only do organic chicken, like they call them here kienyeji. So this is a project that started with just a few chickens, and right now we have a full house. The layers lay, and then we pick the eggs. When they're ready to sit on the eggs to brood, we give each brooding chicken about 10 or more eggs. Then it takes about 21 days, they hatch into chicks. Then we take the chicks and put them in a different machine so that they can mature from there, and then we bring them into another house or the same house when they're adults. But yes, this is another chicken project. There's eggs, there's chickens, there's chicks, all kinds of things coming up. So right now she's giving them, she feeds them collard greens, sukuma wiki, there's water drinkers, and then that's the food. We have chicken pellets, and then we also have maize. It's very good and healthy for all the chicks. Because they're all organic, they love stuff like that. So there you go. All this next to each other, side by side, makes for good subsidiary income, and the girls do need it to take care of their families. Here we have some sugarcane, and we have what you call local greens, they are managu, or wild spinach as they are known out there. And then we have sugarcane. You just take like the sugarcane waste, and then you stick in the ground, it shoots into so many sugarcane stems. Eventually we'll have a full row of sugarcane plants coming up. We have lemongrass, we have rosemary, we have maize growing right next to it. In between the spaces that were there, we have put green peppers as well. So it's a whole field of vegetables and herbs and cereals next to each other. So yes, it is all possible as long as you put your heart to it. So we show this girl as empower her that anything you need at home, you can grow it on your own, in your own little patch of garden. The chicks, when they get hatched, so at Empower Her, we also raise chicken. We have all the chicks that were hatched from the main house. We bring them to this machine, and then we feed them here. We give them water, medicine. Right on top of the machine, we have the eggs that we will give to the other hens, the layers, to sit on to become chicks. When these chicks are about, let me say, 3 to 4 weeks, and then we transfer them to a house that has the adults or with the adults, and they become part of the whole project. So yes, here we have one of our mothers busy putting DCP, which is good for bones and energy and strength for the chickens. There she just filled up another drinking can for the chicks. So yeah, on the very top is the oldest chicks. Those are about 2 weeks, or let me say a week and a half. And then right below them we have like 1 week old chicks. They're all set in the middle, very happy chicks. And then right below them we have 2-day-old chicks. So yes, it's all possible at Empower Her. We encourage young mothers and those who need to learn a skill or two so that they can perform better with their families, can do all these projects. Down there we have one solo older chick, that's about 3 weeks. She's almost ready to be taken out of the machine and put together with the adults. Yeah, so the young mothers and girls can do it all. They can raise their own chickens, they can do their own gardening, and some of this is for commercial as well as for consumption. So at the end of the day, yes, it's all possible with some of the simple things that you can do right in your own backyard, right in your own house. At the end of the day, all about life skills and life training and subsistence and self-sufficiency. We try to raise strong, independent women who can make it all and provide for their own families. Thank you for watching. Yes, thank you. Today at Empower Her, we have some of the young mothers and some of our staff. Right here today, you saw some of them in the video while we are in our projects in the garden. Right in front is Madam Judith. She's the secretary. Empower Her.
Brenda Obura Owiti, the co-director. Empower Her.
And then kuna mama.
Eunice Akinguru.
Good. That's one of our mothers that we work together with. She helped us to raise the young mothers and steer in the right way.
Amina Omar, finance manager and the treasurer of the organization. Elizabeth Achien, a member. Ashley Atieno, a member. Immaculate Jacob, a member. Fiona Atieno, member. Brenda Betty, member. Mariana Nancy, member. Member.
Thank you. And this is Professor Zwambi. I'm the chairman. We are here today, like I said, with some of the young mothers, and we have, as you can see, you hear some kids in the background. So this is what we do at Empower Her. We try to show the girls and the young mothers the way to the future through their own projects. And one of our own projects is the farm that we just showed you. So hopefully in the future we hope to have bigger programs and bigger projects. Thank you for watching, and we hope for your support to help achieve our goals and to steer these mothers and the organization to the right direction.
Empower Her, save the Empower her, save the world.
Empower her.
Save the world.
Bye.